नेटवर्क डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा था। Clear? So means induction motor drives. Clear? So generally the induction motors are also called as self-starting constant speed AC motors. Clear? So I have given the example for you. Just I will say. Okay. So okay. When the supply is given to the stator windings, so the current is flowing. Due to this, the magnetic flux is produced, and this flux is rotating in the air gap of the machine, okay, with a speed of synchronous speed. Okay, whatever the speed, maybe 1000, 1500 rpm, 2000 rpm, whatever. So at which speed is it is rotating, that speed can be called as synchronous speed. That speed can be called as synchronous speed, and it is represented by ns, and it is represented by ns. Ns is equal to, what is the formula? What is the formula for finding the synchronous speed? What is the formula for finding the synchronous speed? What is the formula for finding the synchronous speed? Ns is equal to, please, screen is visible? Screen is visible, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the formula? Ns is equal to 120 f upon by P, not 60 f. Okay, 120 f upon by P. Okay, so here the f is nothing but supply frequency, and P is nothing but number of poles. F is nothing but supply frequency, P is nothing but number of poles. So this synchronous speed is directly proportional to the frequency of the supply and inversely proportional to the number of poles. Okay, so whenever this flux is rotating in the air gap of the machine, then what will happening? So this flux is cuts the rotor conductors. Okay, this flux is cuts the rotor conductor. So whenever this flux cuts the rotor conductor, then what will happening? The EMF is induced across the rotor conductors. Okay, the EMF is induced across the rotor conductors. Okay, EMF is induced across the rotor conductor means some amount of voltage is exist across the rotor conductors. Okay, some amount of voltage is present across the rotor conductors. Okay, if the rotor is short circuited, then the current is flowing through the rotor winding also. Okay, then the current is flowing through the rotor winding also. So due to the flow of currents in the rotor winding, here also the flux is produced. Okay, this flux is also rotates. Okay, and these two flux interacted in the air gap of the machine. The stator flux and rotor flux will be interacted. Okay, so and then resultant flux will be developed. Okay, resultant flux will be developed. Due to this, that there is a force will create. Okay, when the force is creates, so the rotor is start to rotating in a particular direction. Okay, the rotor is start to rotate in a particular direction. This the direction of the rotor is same as the magnetic field. The direction of the rotor is same as the magnetic field. Is it clear? So means whenever the force is created, force is nothing but torque. Okay, whenever the torque is creates, then automatically the rotor is going to start to rotate in a particular direction. Okay, so means what we are doing here, only we are giving the electrical supply to the stator winding. Okay, so we are not giving any supply to the rotor winding. We are not giving any supply to the rotor winding. Okay, like transformer, for example, This is the primary winding is there, and this is the secondary winding is there. Clear? So we are giving the supply to the only primary winding. We are giving electrical supply to the only primary winding. Is it clear? Okay. So then what will happening? The EMF is induced across the primary winding and the transformer. Okay. As per the operating and principle of this transformer, the EMF is induced across the secondary winding of the transformer also. Okay. When this flux is cut, then this number of turns in the secondary winding, the EMF is induced. Okay. That EMF is represented by E2. Okay, so whenever this secondary winding is short circuited or having the some load is connected, okay, at the secondary side, if the load is connected, whatever, okay, then what will happening? The current is start to flow through the secondary winding also. The current is start to flow the secondary winding also. So like the same here also, only we are giving the supply to the stator windings. We are not giving any supply to the rotor windings. Okay, so whenever the supply is given to the stator windings due to the flux developed and the current is flowing through the rotor conductors, okay, the EMF is developed. Okay, due to the interaction of these two fluxes in the air gap of the machine, the resultant torque will be developed. Okay, due to this torque, the rotor is start to rotate in a particular direction. Okay, in a particular direction. So this is the operating and principle of the three-phase induction motor. That's why here the three-phase induction motor also can also be called as a self-starting constant speed AC motor. Self-starting constant speed AC motors. Is it clear? Is it clear, all of you? Hello? 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 Am I audible? Okay, so that's why three-phase induction motor are also called as self-starting constant speed AC motors. Okay, so in the past, okay, in previous, it was not possible to control the speed of the induction motor according to one's needs. Okay, that's why their use was limited. Means what we can say, before 1950 or before 1956, when the power semiconductor devices were not developed, when the power semiconductor devices were not developed, so it is highly impossible to control the speed of the induction motor. It is highly impossible to control the speed of the induction motor. Highly impossible means very difficult. Okay, so it is very difficult to control the speed of the induction motor. So that's why the application of the three-phase induction motor is very limited. Okay, so whenever we require the speed control, so then that places generally mostly we are giving the prefer for the DC motor. But nowadays technology was developed. Nowadays the technology was developed. That is, power semiconductor devices have been developed. That is thyristors, okay, SCRs, power transistors, IGBTs, GTOs, diodes, MOSFETs, and so on, etc. Okay, GTOs, track, diac. So all these power semiconductor devices have been developed. So after development of all these power semiconductor devices, there is a means what we can say, the controlling technology is simple. Okay, for the induction motors, the controlling technology is very simple for the induction motor. So after development of these power semiconductor devices like thyristors, SCR, power transistors, IGBT, G2, and so on, etc. So mostly giving the prefer to use the induction motor in most applications. Okay, in most applications we are giving the prefer to use the induction motor because induction motor is having the number of advantages. Because induction motors are having the number of advantages than the DC motors. For example, in the case of DC motors, commutators are present. Okay, brushes are present. Okay, so due to the presence of commutator and brushes, the weight of the DC motor is increased, the size of the DC motor is increased, and time to time maintenance is required. Okay, the time to time maintenance was required. So the motor cost is also increased. The motor weight is also increased. The motor cost is also increased. So, but in the case of induction motor, the commutator and brushes are not present. Commutator and brushes are not present. So due to this, the maintenance is the weight of the induction motor is very less. Okay, the size of the induction motor is less, and the cost, economical cost of the induction motor is also less compared to the DC motors. Is it clear? So that's why mostly induction motors are giving the prefer for using the speed control of the in some applications like rolling mills, steel mills, and textile mills, and so on, etc. Okay, so so starting of the induction motor means what we can say here. Though the cost of these drivers is more than the DC drivers, okay, still the use of induction motor is increasing, and they are replacing DC motors because of their advantages. So already we have discussed the induction motor is having the advantages over the DC motors. Okay, so that's why uh, the induction motor is giving the prefer to control the speed. Okay, while discussing this topic, we will look through the starting, braking, speed control of induction motor. So means starting, braking, speed control of induction motor. So as we know that induction motor is self-starting when the supply is given to the motor. Okay, when the supply is given to the motor, it start to rotate without any external help. It start to rotate without any external help. When induction motor is started, as there is no resistance initially, so during the starting there is a tendency of whose current is flowing. Okay, there is a tendency of whose current flow through the rotor circuit, so which may damage the circuits. Means what it means, at the time of initial time, at the time of starting, so generally it is having the less resistance. Okay, it is having the less resistance. So when the induction motor is started with the no resistance initially, then what will happening? If the resistance low or zero, then what will happening? The high, there is a chance to flow the high amount of current. There is a chance to flow the high amount of current. So due to the flow of high amount of current through the windings, then what will happening? There is a chance to damage the circuit. There is a chance to damage the winding. Okay, so that's why to overcome this problem, we are developing the okay uh, various methods have been introduced to limit the starting current. Okay, for smooth starting, various starting methods may have been developed. That is the first one, star delta starter. First one, the star delta starter, auto transformer starter, reactor starter, and saturable reactor starter, part winding starter, AC voltage controller starter. Okay, rotor resistance starter is used only for starting of the wound rotor type, means slip ring induction motor type. Clear? So means why we are using for these starters? Why we are using the starters? Can anybody tell please why we are using the starters? Why we are going to use the starters? Starter. Can anybody please? Can anybody please? Why we are?
Starting current.
Yes, please.
To
Limit.
limit the starting current.
Anyone? Only one student, please. कोई भी एक बता दो. Boys, from boys. Yes, exactly right answer. Okay. So means to limit the starting current, to reduce the starting current. Clear? Okay. For protecting the motor from the high current at the time of starting. Okay. That's why we are using the starter for smooth starting. Okay. As well as for reducing the current at the time of starting. We have a different types of starters like star delta starter, auto transformer starter, reactor starter. Number of starters are there. So the induction motor drives, okay, are normally designed to run on delta connection. So obviously we know the induction motor is designed to run on delta connection, but during the starting the supply is given from the star connection because but whenever we are using the star delta starter, okay, initially the supply is given from the star connection circuit. Okay, after some time it will connect the delta connected. Okay, whenever the switch is moving from upside, so for example the switch is like this. Okay, okay, when the switch is moving downside, it will, the circuit is connected stars connection. Okay, after a few minutes, after a few seconds, so then we are moving this handle to the upside. We are moving this handle to the upside. Then what will happen? The star connection is disconnected and the delta connection is connected. Okay, then the delta connection is connected. So why we are doing like this? Because why, whenever we are starting the motor with the star and delta, so 1 by root 3 times of the current is going to be decreased. 1 by root 3 times of the current at the time of starting is going to be decreased. Okay, that's why we are using the star delta starter. So like in this way we are going, we can decrease the starting current or we can limit the starting current. Okay, when the motor is reaches the steady state speed, connection changes from start to delta. So means what we can say, we are moving the switch downside and the motor start rotating, and when the motor speed is reaching the rated speed, okay, rated speed, then we are moving the switch from down to upside. Okay, when the switch is moving from down to upside, thus it is connected to the delta side. It is connected at the delta side. Okay, due to this 1 by root 3 times of the current is going to be decreased. Okay, due to this 1 by root 3 times of the current is going to be decreased. So like this way we can limit the starting current using the star delta starter. Okay, so like this same way also we can use the auto transformer. Okay, another type of starting method of induction motor is auto transformer. So auto transformer क्या होता है? So we are providing the pots. So by rotating the pot, okay, the voltage is slowly increased from 0 volts, 10 volts, 20 volts, 30 volts, 40 volts, 50 volts. So up to 230 volts or up to 440 volts. Okay, we can increase the voltage. So by increasing the voltage levels from 0 to maximum, so the current is also limited. The current is also can be controlled at the time of starting. So this is also one type of starting, one type of starter. Okay, for starting the induction motor. So whatever see, okay, like the same number of starting methods are there. Okay, so next one, braking of the induction motor. Braking of the induction motor. So what is meant by braking? What is meant by braking? What is meant by braking? What is meant by braking, please? To stop the motor, na? Yes or no? Braking means to stop the motor. Yes or no, please? Okay, so braking means to stop the motor. Okay, or we can say the speed is, yes, apply the some force to stops. Okay, so braking means, so the speed is gradually decreases from maximum to the zero speed. Okay, the speed is decreases from maximum to zero speed. So for bringing this maximum to zero speed, we have to apply the some mechanisms. We have to apply the some mechanism, that is braking mechanism. Okay, so by applying the braking mechanism, we can bring the motor speed from maximum to zero, from maximum to zero. Clear? So, but what are the types of brakings are there? Generally, we have a two types of brakings. Generally, we have a two types of brakings. What are that? Mechanical braking and electrical braking. Mechanical braking and electrical braking. So, in mechanic, by using the mechanical braking, so we are using the brake shoes, brake linings, and so on, etc. Okay, rubbers. Okay, so by applying the brake, so then what will happen? Some amount of opposing force is created. Okay, some amount of opposing is created. Due to this opposing force, the speed is going to be decreased. The speed is going to be decreased. Okay, is it clear? So, for example, mechanical braking, we have some disadvantages in the mechanical braking. What are the disadvantages? For example, if you want to stop the vehicle at a particular position, okay, so we cannot stop the vehicle very smoothly by using the mechanical braking. We cannot stop the vehicle smoothly by using the mechanical braking. Is it clear? So because mechanical braking is very rough, so कभी कभी सडनली ब्रेक अप्लाई होता है, कभी कभी ब्रेक भी अप्लाई नहीं हो सकता, स्लोली जाके रुक सकता है. So mean there we cannot stop the vehicle at exact position. We cannot stop the vehicle at exact position, and we cannot bring the speed from maximum to zero gradually. ओके, सो ग्रेजुअली डिक्रीज भी नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि कभी कभी सडनली बंद होता है ब्रेक अप्लाई करने से. ओके, कभी कभी स्लोली बंद होता है. सो ऑल दीज आर द हैविंग द ड्रॉबैक्स. Okay, next one, by applying the mechanical braking, so some amount of energy is wasted in the form of heat. Some amount of energy is wasted in the form of heat. Clear? Yes. So that's why I'm saying. Okay, so some amount of energy is wasted in the form of heat. Okay, that energy we cannot reutilize. That energy we cannot reutilize. This is also one of the main drawback. Clear? Exactly right answer. Who is given the right answer? Clear? So these are the drawbacks are there in the mechanical braking. So that's why we are going for the electrical braking. That's why we are going for the electrical braking. So here by using the electrical braking, we can stop the vehicle. We can stop the vehicle at an exact position. At exact position. Clear? So where we would like to stop the vehicle at exact position, we can stop the vehicle, and also we can stop the vehicle very smoothly. Also we can stop the vehicle very smoothly. Clear? So these are the advantages of the electrical braking than the mechanical braking, but it is also having some disadvantages. But whenever you would like to apply the electrical braking, so we need electricity. We need electricity. Clear? So if the electricity is not present, so we cannot apply the electrical braking. So means it needs electrical energy. It needs electrical energy. So here the electrical braking are again classified into three types. Okay, regenerative braking, okay, dynamic braking, and plugging. What are the electrical braking types? Again, the electrical braking having classified into three types. Okay, regenerative braking, plugging, okay, and dynamic braking. Clear? So what is meant by regenerative braking? What is meant by dynamic braking? So regenerative braking is nothing but, okay. Regenerative braking is possible when the motor speed is more than the rated speed. Okay, when the motor speed is more than the rated speed or above base speed. Okay, then only the regenerative braking is possible. So for applying the regenerative braking, we should rotate the motor more than the synchronous speed or more than the rated speed. Is it clear? So due to this, then what will happening? When the motor speed is more than the synchronous speed, so the slip is goes to negative. If the slip is goes to negative, then what will happening? It will act as a generating mode. Okay, it will act as a generator. Okay, so generator means braking. Is it clear? So, but so to explain this more clearly and easily, we can say that whenever the speed of the rotor exceeds the synchronous speed, okay, exceed the synchronous speed, okay, regeneration braking is occurs. Regeneration braking is occurs means whenever we would like to apply the regenerative braking, the motor speed should be exceed the synchronous speed. Okay, so whenever this speed is exceed the synchronous speed, then the slip is goes to negative. So because, for example, S is equal to, we know the formula. S is equal to, what is the formula? What is the formula for slip? Ns minus Nr upon by Ns. Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? Slip formula S is equal to Ns minus Nr upon by Ns. Okay. So when the motor speed is exceed the synchronous speed, okay, for example, if the 1500 is the synchronous speed and motor is speed is exceed the synchronous speed, for example 1600, for example 1600, then divided by 1500. So what will happening here? S is equal to plus 1500 minus 1600 means क्या होता है? Minus 100. Minus 100 upon by 1500. So means this total values comes to the negative. Means slip is negative. Slip is negative. Is it right? Slip is negative. When the slip is goes to negative, what will happen? It will goes to the here the induction motor is operated as a generator mode. Okay, so the induction motor is operated as a generator mode. So means it will comes into the braking condition, regenerative braking mode. Okay, that is because whenever the rotor rotates at a speed more than the synchronous speed, there is a reverse field occurs which opposes the normal rotation. Okay, whenever this motor speed is more than the synchronous speed, there is a reverse field is occurs. There is a reverse field occurs which opposes the normal rotation of the motor, which opposes the normal rotation of the motor, and therefore braking takes place. So obviously, when the some amount of force is opposing the speed, so obviously what we can say the braking is applied. Okay, like the same way. So by using this regenerative braking concept, we can apply the braking. Means for applying the regenerative braking, the motor speed should be exceed the synchronous speed. Okay, the motor speed exceeds, okay, synchronous speed. Then only the regenerative braking is possible. Okay, so we know the formula input power is equal to 3 into V into IS. Okay, 3 into V into IS into cos theta S. So here theta S is nothing but the angle between the phase angle between the stator voltage and stator current. The angle between the stator voltage and the stator current. Clear? So to acquire this regenerative braking at a lower speed than synchronous speed, variable frequency source can be used. Variable frequency source can be used. So means second one is the plugging. Plugging means plugging क्या होता है? For example, this is the motor. Okay, this is the phase sequence RYB. RYB. Okay, so if this motor is starting with the proper sequence RYB or ABC or 1, 2, 3, whatever, so the magnetic field is rotates like this, for example. Okay, so whenever this any one phase sequence changes, okay, if any one phase sequence changes, for example, this is the motors. Now I like to change the phase sequence. पहला RY भी था, अभी क्या करना है? Now we are doing the YRB. Okay, YRB. So by changing any one phase sequence, then what will happen? So whatever the magnetic field is rotates, that will be reverse in opposite direction. Okay, due to this, then what will happen? It will oppose the speed motion of the motor, or it will oppose the speed of the motor. Okay, like this way, the braking can be applied by using the plugging. Okay, means by interchanging the any two phase sequence. By interchanging the any two phase sequence, we can stop the speed of the motor. Means we can apply the braking to the motors. So that type of braking can be called as plugging. So that type of braking can be called as plugging. Clear? Next, third one is the dynamic braking. Which is third one? Dynamic braking. Dynamic braking means what? Means, for example, we are having the motor. Okay, this is having two switches. Like this. Okay, this is the supply. This is the supply, and these motor terminals are connected to the supply side. These motor terminals are connected to the supply side. Then it will start as a motoring mode. Okay, then it will start as a motoring mode. So if you want to decrease the speed of this motor, so what we have to do? So we can disconnect the supply. Okay, by disconnecting the supply, then what will happen? By disconnecting the supply, what will happen? Automatically the motor speed going to be decrease. Okay, if we are decreasing the motor, if we are disconnecting the supply, okay, if you are disconnecting the supply, automatically the motor speed is going to be decrease. The motor speed is going to be decreased and it will become a zero, but it will take more time. Okay, but it will take more time to stopping the vehicle or to stopping the motor. Okay, so it will take more time to come to the zero position. Okay, from the maximum position. So if you want to stop the motor very quickly, so then we can connect this motor terminals to the resistance. Clear? So immediately disconnect the supply, disconnect the motor terminals from the supply, and connect to the across the resistance. Connect the across the resistance. Clear? So due to the what will happening? So whenever this terminals of the motor is connected to the external supply, the flow of current is increased. The flow of current is increased means whatever the kinetic energy stored in the motor, okay, that will be dissipated. Okay, that will be dissipated in the form of heat. Okay, in the form of free heat, that is the across the resistance. Is it clear? So this flow of current is depends upon this value of the resistance. Okay, this flow of current depends upon the value of this braking resistance. So whatever we are using the resistance for decreasing the motor speed, so that resistance can be called as a braking resistance. Clear? If the braking resistance is high, so the flow of current is slow. Okay, the flow of current is very low. So if the flow of current is very low, so the speed of the motor is also decreased very क्या बोल सकते हैं अपन, बहुत स्लोली बंद होता है motor. अगर ये करंट इंक्रीज होगा, ये करंट कब इंक्रीज होगा? ब्रेकिंग current कब increase होगा? When this resistance is small. Okay, when this resistance is small, this braking current is increases. Means when this braking current increases, whatever the energy stored in the form of kinetic energy, that will be dissipated very fastly, very quickly. Okay, that will be dissipated very quickly. So at the same time, the motor speed is also come to the zero position. At the same time, the motor speed is also come to the zero position. So like this way, this is the dynamic braking. Means what we are doing, we are disconnecting the supply, okay, and we can leave the motor terminals, okay. So then what will happening? We can disconnect the supply and we can keep it open. We can keep it as a open, okay. So the motor speed is going to be decreases and it will become a zero, but it will take more time. But it will take more time. So if you want to stop the motor very quickly, so you have to disconnect the supply. We have to disconnect the motor terminals from the supply and we have to connect the resistive load. Okay, we have to connect across the resistive load. So whenever these motor terminals are connected across the resistive load, then what will happen? The flow of braking current is increases. That is, whatever the reverse current is flowing through the motor terminal, that current can be called as a braking current. Okay. So due to the flow of braking current, the braking torque is developed. Braking torque is nothing but some opposing force is created. Okay. Due to this opposing force is created, the motor is stops. The motor is stops. Okay. So these are the dynamic braking of the dynamic braking of the motors. Clear? So speed control of the induction motor. Speed control of the induction motor. So generally we can control the speed of the induction motor by changing the pole changing. Okay, by changing the pole changing. So means generally we can say the speed of the induction motor is inversely proportional to the number of poles. The speed of the induction motor is inversely proportional to the number of poles. If the number of poles are increasing, the speed is decreasing. If the number of poles are decreasing, the speed is increases. Means by changing the number of poles, the speed is also can be changes. Okay, like the same with stator voltage control or supply frequency control and so on. Okay, stator voltage control means by using the rectifier, by using the voltage controllers. Okay, by using the voltage controller, we can control the stator voltage. Means stator voltage regulator क्या करता है? It will convert from AC to AC. Okay, fixed AC into the variable AC. So like the same way we can control the speed of the motor. So if the supply voltage changes, okay, the speed of the induction motor is also changes. If the voltage increases, the speed is also increases. If the voltage decreases, the speed is also decreases because the speed of the induction motor is directly proportional to the applied voltage. The speed of the induction motor is directly proportional to the applied voltage, that is the supply voltage. Clear? So like this same way you can control the speed of the induction motor. So here you can see here we have given the three-phase AC supply. Okay, this three-phase AC supply is given to the three-phase converter kit. Three-phase AC supply is given to the three-phase converter kit, and this three-phase rectifier will convert from AC to DC. Okay, so by using this inductance and capacitance, we can make it as a constant current and constant voltage and constant current. And this constant current and constant voltage is given to the inverter circuit. Okay, so this inverter will convert again this from DC to the AC, again from DC into the AC. So based on the switching frequency, or based on the switching on time and off times of these devices, okay, so the power will be controlled. The power will be controlled means the voltage which is applied to the motor terminal that is also controlled. Okay, if this voltage is controlled, the speed of the induction motor is also controlled. The speed of the induction motor is also control. So like the same way, we can control the induction motor speed. We can control the induction motor speed using the rectifiers. Okay, so using the thyristors, diodes, transistors, MOSFET, IGBT, okay, trap, diag, console, etc. Okay, so the motor speed is controlled through the power electronic converter. This is also power electronic converter. This is also power electronic converter. Okay, so this motor speed is controlled through the power electronic converter. So this total system can be called as a induction motor drives. This total system can be called as a induction motor drives. Means drives and control of the induction motor. So whatever the induction motor speed is going to control through the power electronic converters. So that entire system can be called as so three-phase induction motor drives. Three-phase induction motor drives. Is it clear? Is it okay, all of you, please? Any doubt, please? Any doubt?